Our next speaker is Mr. Darlington Ekechukwu. He is a chartered engineer and researcher specializing in renewable energy systems, carbon capture, and sustainable energy technologies. He is affiliated with the University of East London and the Federal University of Technology in Owerri. His work focuses on advancing clean energy integration, applying machine learning to energy systems, and developing innovative financial models for clean energy adoption. He has published widely across these areas. With a strong background in project and operations engineering, Darlington brings both technical expertise and practical experience to advancing net zero solutions. His work supports energy optimization, innovation, and the delivery of sustainable energy projects. Mr. Darlington, the floor is yours, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vikrant, and thank you, the organizers of the Green Institute Energy 3.0 conference. My name is Darlington. Thank you very much, Vikrant, for your introduction. I will just, because of time, proceed straight to the content of my presentation. I would be speaking on energy recovery from waste, adaptation strategies as an energy innovation in Nigeria. Introduction. I would move to Nigeria's energy transition plan, waste energy explanations, processes around energy and material recovery, adaptation strategies, examples and features of some specific waste to energy projects in Africa and Nigeria, and thereafter go ahead with conclusion and recommendation. Waste primarily is everything that we produce, and in producing, some of them are discarded over time after it's been used and disposed of. So it's important that not just from our home point of view, but industrially as well as we urbanize, this consumerist culture that focuses on convenience and single-use products are looked into and planned so that items are designed properly, especially when they become obsolete. So a linear take, make, and waste economic model, which focuses on how raw materials are produced and what eventually happens to them at the end of their life cycle. Once a substance has been used, somehow it becomes classified as waste depending on the point of usages, and therefore there is need to not just abandon them or dispose them off completely, but rather recover them for beneficial use, especially in this time where the environment is now conscious of global warming as well as other challenges. And there should be integrated system of policies around waste management that should help us in this final disposal process, transcending beyond just removing waste or removing this rubbish, as the case may be. It should evolve beyond a multidimensional framework, which should look at maximizing the resources around energy recovery, maximizing the environmental impact, as well as the economic and social risks that may arise from it. Waste generation is largely considered inevitable because we will definitely be producing waste products and usages, and due to rising global population, there is need to review our consumption patterns as well as our lifestyle, since we are currently producing over 2.01 billion tons currently in 2016, and by 2050 it's expected that this should go beyond 3.40. This is huge for the environment. I'm not sure the environment can handle it if we don't prepare for it. And this surge is driven principally by the recent economic growth the world is witnessing. And in managing waste, it's important to look at the waste hierarchy, where a focus is on waste recovery. In the sequence, you would see that it's important that we prevent it, but most times, especially the important waste, like our food waste, for instance, now, we can't comparatively prevent it. So we need to look at other sequence, like reusing this waste where necessary. Can this waste be recycled? Can we recover something meaningful from it, say energy? And can we safely dispose it? This strategy prioritizes all the waste generation processes, as well as how to manage the hazardous substances that could emanate from this waste. The Nigerian Energy Transition Plan, which was launched in 2021, is a comprehensive roadmap aimed at emission control, net zero emissions by 2060. This document critically looks at the decarbonization pathways, especially around the transport and the industry sector. And it's supposed to be a $1.9 trillion investment package, helping to bridge energy gap and improving the energy transition process, making the energy industry sustainable, managing the challenges that come with it, especially around poverty reduction and access to modern energy opportunities, as well as the economic benefits that may come with it. Hence, therefore, my focus would be on waste to energy. Waste to energy is, in my own opinion, and as researchers would say, a mature technology, especially in the global north. But in the global south, it is an emerging technology, but technically meaningfully skilled towards providing heat and electricity to the local population. And with the advent of technology like carbon capture, AI, and machine learning processes, these technologies can be improved and optimized in such a way that it will optimize the efficiency around emission control, helping to manage the environmental challenges better, as well as providing needed electricity and heat for the local population in Africa and Nigeria, to be specific. And in so doing, we are able to recover some hidden potential with respect to energy and curtail challenges like the environmental impacts, thereby helping to guarantee that local population, especially those that are not connected to the grid, can be guaranteed of energy security, generating enough job employment, economic benefits, and emission control, especially the methane emission that may arise from it. And there are principal processes over the years that has been developed, and this revolves around incineration and combustion, material recovery, anaerobic digestion, pyrolysis, as well as landfill gas recoveries. Incineration, principally, like we know, though practiced in global south as simple burning, but in the global north, it involves controlled combustion within a chamber in excess of 850 degrees C to produce steam. And this steam is used to drive turbines to generate electricity, and the surplus heat can be used to heat up homes and power other industrial applications. And in so doing, the incinerated ash could be recovered, recycled, and used to produce certain construction materials, helping to make the world environmentally more friendly. And this ash in the form of clinker can be utilized in industrial applications like the construction industries for road, as well as brick making and other applications. Other processes like anaerobic digestion, like the use of food waste as a feedstock, broken down by microorganisms in sealed tanks, biodigester, as the case may be, to produce premium CO2, as well as methane, can be used to power electricity for power generation. Pyrolysis is also a proven concept, which of course uses waste heat in the absence of oxygen to produce synthetic fuel. And this can also be used as a pathway during the energy transition stories. For instance, now you can produce a synthetic gas, which can be further converted into biodiesel and other naphtha and other environmentally friendly fuel. And finally, the landfill gas recovery. This landfill is outdated, I would say an outdated technology, because the world is actually shifting away from it. is just about gathering waste, putting in waste in a depressed location and allowing gas, the methane, to be produced over decomposing waste. And it's that waste is recovered and is used to generate electricity. And like I said, it's not an ideal technology going forward in this 21st century. And the adaptation strategy, in my own opinion, should involve technologies that focus on enhancing efficiency around the processes. And first on my list is the thermal process modernization, advanced gasification and pyrolysis, anaerobic digestion using the co-digestion model, carbon capture utilization and storage adaptation, retrofitting to existing power plants, and of course, inculcating emerging technologies like the plasma, the hydrothermal carbonization, feedstock pre-processing and homogenization, decentralized and smart waste systems, as well as looking at policies and socio-economic impact of improving the waste to energy industry. Looking at the thermal modernization, incineration plants has been fitted with what we call FGT units, flue gas treatment units, where after the combustion process has taken place, the flue gas is properly cleaned, ensuring that certain key technologies like the SCR, the selective catalytic reduction, is applied so that NOx, the nitrogen oxide, and the activated carbons are injected, and heavy metals and other dioxins, which are pollutants to the environment, are extracted from the flue gas. At the end of the day, you all have a flue gas that has been properly cleaned being emitted into the environment, making the entire process environmentally friendly, net zero supportive, as well as a clean energy resource. Other strategies that can be looked into are the advanced gasification and pyrolysis technology, which basically looks at how to improve feedstock flexibility in terms of the treatment process and feeding this feedstock into a pyrolysis reactor such that you use less feedstock to produce syngas that are of high quality, using advanced catalytic processes to remove contaminants, just like tars and particulates, ensuring that syngas are suitable for high value applications. And these syngas can be further used in the chemical industries to produce environmentally friendly fuels as well. Also, applying the co-digestion model to anaerobic digestion processes helps to improve your biogas yield, ensure that the process stability is applied in a digestion process for the anaerobic digesters, ensuring that multiple streams can be fed into the digester, while also applying a continuously steered digestion process, guaranteeing that you have continual yield of biogas, in this case, specifically methane, and CO2 recovery as well. And in so doing, you have a consistent production of electricity and heat from this anaerobic digestion process. Another adaptation strategy, which is very much being considered by the global north, especially the UK, is the carbon capture and utilization technology, which basically is looking at how do we recover carbon from existing pollutants, or should I say emitters, in the environment. For instance, the power plants, in Nigeria, we do have a network of thermal power stations like the Egni power stations, where they use the natural gas to power the generators. And you agree with me that at the end of the day, this natural gas still emit their flue gas to the environment. And this system can be retrofitted to these power plants, helping to recover the carbon that is embedded in the flue gas system. And is recovering the carbon, you helping to make these power plants more environmentally friendly, because the principal cause of global warming is the CO2 in the flue gas. And that will help you in helping to meet negative emissions around that, which is a key component of your net zero objectives. Emerging technologies like the plasma and HTC, which uses ultra high temperature to produce high quality syngas, is also a strategy to be considered. Also, the hydrothermal carbonization, which treats biomass in organic waste in hot pressurized water to produce a hydrochar, is also an emerging technology that is being considered, though it's energy intensive. But with further research, it should be an opportunity to advance a clean energy and alternative. Feedstock reprocessing and homogenization, which can be used in the anaerobic digestion strategy, is principally how do you optimize the pre-treatment of the feedstock for processes like the anaerobic digestion and also for the other feedstock reactors that may be needing. Palletization, mechanical sorting, drying, and torrefaction are all mechanical processes that you can use to improve your feedstock, helping to have a consistent dry feedstock, which improves your conversion efficiency before you feed it into your reactors. Another strategy that you can consider is the decentralized and smart waste solutions, where all the waste to energy units can be developed in such a way that they are built close to the raw material locations, and also applying modern day technology like the machine learning and the artificial intelligence process of managing the entire logistical chain. In so doing, you could get some cost savings, get some energy optimization before the reaction processes for certain feedstocks can be improved upon. Strategies also that needs to be considered importantly also is the policy and the socio-economic impact on the location. So it's important that waste to energy plants are aligned to government policies, especially when it has to do with how do you recover waste, how do you guide, incentivize the sector, and the impact the Nimbus syndrome will have on it. And the Nimbus syndrome is simply, like they say, not in my backyard, where everybody, no one wants to have waste around his environment, but we all want energy, but we don't want to cite these, in quote, dirty industries around our communities. It's important that we do away with this Nimbus syndrome, helping to embrace the fact that it's a collective solution towards managing the waste that we jointly produce, especially in a process that will make the environment more friendly. And this strategy will help end the end of pipe, which waste disposal. This end of pipe is just a remediation strategy to help you manage the symptoms that come out of this waste. And applying all these strategies should help us to have a better technology developed to manage our waste. Some examples of the waste to energy plants in Africa that is already operational. The very first one is in Ethiopia, the Repi waste to energy plant. It's a first of its kind in Africa, like I mentioned earlier, helping to provide 30% of the locality's electricity needs. And it helps process over 1,400 tons of waste daily. And it's been developed by a consortium of Cambridge Industries and China Electric Engineering Company. And it's currently in operation, and it's doing very well in terms of helping emission control of the location. Another energy project, the Mustafa Energy in South Africa, Cape Town, which is a 2.7 megawatt electricity plant, helps to process and divert 60,000 tons of waste away from landfills in Cape Town. And it has been significant in reducing waste management for the location. and it was co-founded by the Nordic Development Fund and the Environmental and Energy Partnership. In Africa and Nigeria, to be specific, we have the Lagos State Initiative, which is a plan with a Dutch firm to build a 60 to 75 megawatt electricity plant in Epe, Lagos. And this should help to reduce landfill, which currently estimates is that the Lagos landfill is 80% filled with little or no room to spare. And for those who know Lagos, Lagos is very heavily populated with little land mass to spare and overbordering the landfill. And in reality, we should be doing away with landfill, especially in Africa, where we have potentials to generate a lot more resources from our waste. Therefore, this is a laudable initiative, and I employ us to push the narrative that waste to energy conversion is a clean energy alternative in terms of energy generation. So these are just some examples of waste to energy plants in Nigeria and Africa, and I hope more plants will be coming on stream. In my conclusion, I would be saying that at this point, energy from waste is a hybrid approach in integrating the driving energy, circular economy, especially adapting advanced technologies and maximizing the efficiency in terms of feedstock, as well as improving the impact this waste will have on the environment. And we can adapt some of these strategies on our existing facilities, making them combine heat and power, like our thermal power plants that we have in Nigeria and, of course, all over the world. Adapting carbon capture concepts can help us improve our existing infrastructure around the energy system, focusing around appreciating that, yes, we cannot do away with waste. We have to produce waste, and it's important that we optimize our waste, improving it, adapting strategies that can improve and create opportunities that will help us to generate meaningful energies from this waste, not just energies, recover materials, converting it to green energy alternatives with the goal that we are supporting net zero objectives. Thank you for listening. At this point, I'll be answering questions that may come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Darlington. So the question that we have for you, sir, is if you could speak a little more to the viability of waste to energy for rural electrification purposes, particularly from a Nigerian lens, that would be great.
From a Nigerian perspective, waste to energy, a lot of Nigeria is most importantly a populated country. We are the largest Black populated country in sub-Saharan, and a lot of our cities generate enormous tons of waste. And this waste ends up largely at the landfill, like I mentioned earlier. So it's very important that from a local perspective, we begin to think of the volume of damage, environmentally and otherwise, this waste is doing to the communities where the landfills are located. And in so doing, we begin to appreciate the fact that we can generate beneficial energies like heat, like electricity from these tons of waste, and also recover this land. As a populated country, land is precious, and these lands can be put to better use. A lot of, like in Lagos, for instance, now Ojota and other landfill locations can be recovered and they're rebuilt for the community, for the population to use for accommodation, residential purposes, agricultural purposes, to improve the city, instead of just condemning hectares of land for landfill purposes. In terms of Nigerian concepts, I would say that adapting some of the strategies that I've mentioned will help us to, one, create jobs, develop opportunities to generate electricity, and most importantly, reduce the emissions that we're having from the existing power generation and energy generation facilities that we have. And this will go a long way. Unfortunately, the technologies are not very well advanced, but I would say the more we invest more, the more we partner with international funding organizations to help us advance all these technologies, the more we come up with bankable projects. Waste to energy, in my own opinion, is a very good alternative to generate energy to serve the population of Nigeria and Africa at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Darlington, for taking the time and being with us today for the Energies Conference. Your insights were exceptional, and thank you once again.